This is part one of New Zealand urban legends. I'm here in Cambridge, Waikato, covering the myth of the man in the streetlights. Since the late 2000s, claims of a mysterious figure appearing directly beneath illuminated lampposts has haunted this town. Late at night, between the hours of 1 and 4 a.m, the figure would be still, often facing away from witnesses. Those who tried to get closer recall the streetlights flickering or going out, leading to the individual disappearing without a trace. Others claim that as they approached, perception became warped, never reaching the figure, no matter how far they walked in its direction. According to those who recount the legend, you should never acknowledge them, never approach them, and most importantly, if you see two of them, run. This is part two of New Zealand urban legends. Here, in the Kaimai Ranges, there exists an inherent belief that time doesn't always move linearly. In these forests, people on short morning hikes find themselves returning just before nightfall, while others, on longer tramps, get to their destinations hours earlier than expected. There's no perceived danger here, just strange occurrences and a constant, unsettling feeling. People have discovered huts that aren't on any maps. These small, corrugated shelters are tucked down overgrown side trails. Inside are rusted tools, old newspapers, and boots by the door, as if someone was there just moments before. They're unsettling because they don't feel abandoned and often disappear when witnesses try to find them again. Hikers also claim to hear sharp, rhythmic chopping echoing through the valley. Some say they've seen figures amongst the trees, men in old coats, wide-brim hats, and heavy woolen trousers, clothing from a bygone era. There's a lingering sense that in parts of the Kaimais, the past hasn't entirely passed. This is part three of New Zealand urban legends. Here, on the desert road, there's a common belief in a mysterious hitchhiker that saves souls from their unfortunate fates. Along this stretch of State Highway 1, late-night drivers report a still, foreboding figure perched on the roadside. He's tall, foul-smelling, with legs bent the wrong way. Covered in thick, matted fur, he adorns a long oilskin coat. Some claim to see his horns silhouetted in the headlights. After picking him up, a short way down the road, just as witnesses are about to ask where he's heading, they turn to see that he's already gone, without even opening the door. The goatman's intentions remain unknown, but many believe he exists as a watcher, a kaitiaki, a guardian preventing road accidents before they happen. Stop to pick him up, and he protects you from whatever lies waiting further down the road. Neglect to stop, and your fate is sealed. The myth of the Goatman is unsettling, not for what he does to those who encounter him, but for what might have befallen them if he had never appeared. This is part four of New Zealand urban legends. Here, in Tokoroa, a small mill town surrounded by dense pine forests, many myths have begun to circulate as to what lurks within the foliage. The most common story speaks of strange lights coming from deep within these plantations. Many hunters and forestry workers say they've seen them while spotlighting or travelling late at night on remote logging roads. These small white orbs float silently between the trees, far from any logical origin point. When approached, they vanish. Some say they're simply bioluminescent insects and fungi, while others suggest something more sinister. Local iwi use these forests as travel passages, and many speculate the lights are spirits tied to these roots. Whatever they are, they only appear when the forest is quiet and the night is still, leaving those who witness them to wonder if they are watching them or if they're watching us. This is part 5 of New Zealand urban legends. Māori folklore depicts the first people of Aotearoa as light-skinned, fair-haired, supernatural beings living deep within our mountains and bush. Seldom seen, these creatures feared the sun, emerging only at night or in heavy fog. The Patupaerehe, also known as Turehu or Pakipakiha, were said to lure people away under the trance of their kuawo or putorino. The young women they captured were usually returned unharmed, but the fate of Māori men was far less fortunate. The Patupaerehe ate only raw food, believing cooked meat was an abomination. Tangata whenua quickly learned that the heat of a roaring fire or the smell of a hangi was enough to keep them away. Today, experts debate whether the Patupaerehe still live among us or ever existed in the first place. One thing's for certain, if the legend is true, it explains why people still report the sound of distant flutes drifting through the bush on dark, foggy nights. This is part 6 of New Zealand urban legends. Here, in Waitomo, locals and tour workers frequently report hearing noises that don't belong in caves like these. Through the soft sound of seeping limestone ceilings, people claim to hear faint whispers, distant chanting, and voices with no clear origin. Although seemingly harmless, some stories speak of their intense, possessive pull. Those who listen too long report feeling disorientated and detached, as if they're being called deeper into the caves. Many experts attribute the phenomenon to echo distortion and sensory deprivation. Others tie it to the spirits of early Māori who first traversed these underground systems. Darker still, some believe the caves mimic sounds, slowly rearranging its ominous echoes into something more human-like, with the intent of directing us into the dark. Whatever you do, don't go on alone, and never trust what you hear.